Ooh, I'm sensing some potential changes coming our way in the digital platform world, and I'm not sure just how I feel about it yet. Let's talk about this. What's going on, you guys? Thanks for joining me for another video, and I hope you guys had a great Christmas. I did. I had a leg of lamb with spicy cilantro sauce, and it was freaking ridiculous. And yeah, it was a great day. So anyways, wanted to discuss something with you guys today that I saw in the Kemper forums. And I'm going to go ahead and I got some screenshots I'm going to put up on the screen for you guys now, and I'm going to read them. And it just kind of piqued my interest a little bit. So this person here asked Christoph Kemper in the forum, and he says, just to confirm, are we interpreting this? And he's quoting Christoph Kemper here when he says, thus we consider since quite a while to offer 1 or 2 software upgrade with costs, in parentheses, that will boost the player's features towards the head, rack, and stage. And after he's done quoting Christoph Kemper here, he's asking, like, just to confirm, are we interpreting this thing that you said here to mean that it is possible or likely that they will offer paid upgrade for the player to have more features like that of the head, rack, and stage, like, for example, more effects? This is how I read it, but I wanted to confirm. And then Christoph Kemper replied saying affirmative, but no ETA yet. So this is interesting. So I guess, at least for the new Kemper player, if you want to upgrade it to have more features and more effects like the head, rack, and stage, you can pay for that when it does come out eventually. And so I saw this and I was like, okay, you know, I can understand that, because maybe there's some people who bought the player and they're just like, I don't need all that stuff. I'm not going to pay for the update, and I'm fine with what I have. So at least he's given us the option, if we're a player owner, as to whether or not we want to actually, you know, do the upgrade or not. Now, there's many ways to look at this, and I'm trying to cover every way to look at it in this video. So first of all, you know, at first glance, it's like if you're going to come out with a unit that costs less than the motherships or the bigger ones with all the features and everything like that, and you're going to charge less for it, and it's going to be smaller and compact and everything, basically what the player is, and then charge for updates to get it up to par with those other units, and then maybe by the time you're done paying for those updates, by that time, the price would have been close enough to where you would have just got one of those units anyways. I don't know if that's such a great idea. I don't know how much these updates are going to cost. Maybe they'll be 30 bucks, 50 bucks, whatever. And at that point, yeah, whatever, you know. And in doing some further research on the player, it does have the same amount of DSP as the big units. So it can do all the things that they can do regarding effects and stuff like that. So, and I'm hoping that if they do an update on the player, that they put morph in there, because I think that's a huge oversight on their part right now. So I think that would be handy, because it would turn the 3-foot switches into 6-foot switches. Let's get back to the topic at hand here. So it's possible, based on what I'm reading here, that there could be paid updates with this unit. And again, depending on where you're coming from, it might be worth it to you. It might not. At least you have the option. And then there's some of us that might be thinking like, well, for that kind of price, for a little unit like that, why am I paying for it to have an update, you know? Because we didn't really know when this thing came out what it had, what it didn't have. I mean, there's still some mystery about that. And it took me a lot of digging to find out whether or not it had morph. You know, it wasn't an obvious thing that was put out there. So, you know, I think some people are buying this product with maybe a slight blinder on, that they don't know what they're not getting when they buy it. And then maybe down the road, like I said, they can update it and stuff at a cost, but hopefully it won't be that expensive. But here is where I have a little bit of concern with this whole paid for updates kind of thing. Now, again, there's several ways to look at it, and I'll try to cover them best I can here. So, if this is successful for Kemper, their competition's going to be looking at this quad Cortex, Line 6, ToneX, all these other units, and they're going to be peeking over the fence and go, well, you know, they buying some new furniture over there in the house with all that update money, and if so, maybe we should do it too. So if Kemper is successful with this whole paid update thing, maybe all the other companies are going to do it as well and start charging for updates, because if you can make money off of doing updates instead of doing them for free, why wouldn't you? And so I just wonder what that's going to be like in the digital platform community. I wonder if people are going to be like, well, really? Now we got to pay for this stuff? Because we've been accustomed to having all this stuff for free on our end anyways. I mean, it doesn't cost us anything, but I'm sure it costs the companies a lot of money because they have to pay the people to do it, So maybe this is going to take a turn so in such a way that everyone's going to start charging for updates now. So it gives you a chance to kind of opt in and out, which could be a good or a bad thing depending on the way that you look at it. So let's say they come out with an update and everything in that update is listed, and you look at it and go, there's nothing in there for me. I don't really want to want this update. It doesn't work for me at all. And you can skip it and not pay for it and just keep your unit the way it is. And then the people that do see value in this update, they can pay for it and get it for themselves. Because we all know that every time an update comes out, there's a certain segment of people that complain because there's nothing in it that works for them. So these people would be better off just waiting for the next one and paying for that if it has things in it that they want. So that's one way to look at it. And another way to look at it is when we pay these companies to do these updates and we have these demands that we want met in these updates, well, now we're incentivizing these companies more by saying, hey, we'll buy this if you make it for us. And then the company is now more incentivized to do these specific things for people if there's enough demand for it. So in other words, we're going to get what we want probably sooner, and we're going to get like exactly what we freaking want more often if there's enough demand for it, and we're compensating the companies to do this work for us. So that's another way to look at it. Because if you really break it down, how much money do these companies really make on doing updates? I mean, yes, in a roundabout way, they make money off of them because, the more updated their product is or the more feature loaded it is, the more potential they will have for sales, and I get that. But at the same time, to the community that has already bought the unit and is perfectly satisfied with it, but just the updates are just bonuses for them, well, they're not really making any money off of these updates. It's costing the company money to do these updates for everyone, and I get that. They have to pay staff to do it. There's probably some resources that they have to use, computers, whatever, all that kind of high-techy stuff that is required to do these updates. So, it all costs money, and, let's say they have a team of, let's just say they have a team of 3 people working on these updates, programmers, code writers. I mean, let's just say that each code writer makes $50,000 a year to do this work. Well, that's $150,000 worth of salaries per year that go into this team of people who are doing these updates. So it's a huge, chunk of change that's coming out of the company's coffers to make this stuff happen. And again, they're not making money directly off of these updates. They're just hoping to get more sales. And obviously it's been working all this time, because if it wasn't, these companies would all be going out of business, or at least saying we're not doing updates anymore. But to incentivize these companies to do these updates in a way that we pay a nominal fee, nothing crazy, just something to offset the cost, that's associated with doing these, would probably be beneficial for all of us, because the company's incentivized, they're looking forward to doing these updates, they read our demands and go, okay, we're getting paid to take care of this, so I think it would be good for us to do this. And I just think it would be better for everybody in that regard, as long as it's not something that's super expensive for us to pay for. And I think there's enough customers that own all of these units, that are under these umbrellas, with these companies, that I think a nominal fee would cover that and then some and not be too expensive. Now, am I simping for this? Am I hoping for it? No, but I'm just trying to show you guys like there's a positive and negative with everything. And there's obviously many ways to look at it. And you got to look at it this way too. There's a bit of entitlement on our side as consumers regarding these updates. I mean, we've got them for free for years now, and we've gotten accustomed to that, and we kind of feel like we're entitled to these things. But, you know, after a while, every gravy train has to change its rules to keep the gravy train moving, you know, and maybe this is going to start trending in that direction right now. And I'm also seeing a potential for something else, like let's say the paid update thing starts becoming a thing with all of these companies. Well, what's next? Maybe you buy the unit and then you get a monthly subscription. I mean, there's a lot of software companies doing that right now. Adobe, freaking tons of editing software. The editing software I have is like that. Pro Tools, I mean, all the software we mix music on, that's all pretty much a subscription now. And the updates come with it, of course, but you just pay a monthly fee for that and your stuff is always updated. So I wonder if they'll even take it to that level and just start going, well, here's your product, you know, for X amount of dollars, and then sign up if you want to, sign up for our subscription service, and then you're always going to get the updates and you're only paying a nominal fee every month. Or you can just a la carte pick whatever updates work for you and bypass the whole monthly subscription thing. So who knows? And I think there's potential for all those things. There's pluses and minuses with all of them, depending on how they do it, how they roll out the updates, how often they roll out updates, and that kind of thing. Maybe there's some potential for that. But the other thing that I'm concerned about, though, is if the entitlement's going to start getting more on the company's side, where they just feel entitled to just come out with a new unit, charge you full price for it, and then say, oh, don't worry, down the road, we're going to keep updating this with, with your subscription money. And that helps fund all that. And it's like, wait a minute, that means I'm kind of buying it like several times, doesn't it? You know, I'm paying full price for this and then, all this kind of crap. So I don't know. I mean, I think there needs to be some balance with all of it. So in my opinion, if you're going to come out with a unit that's kind of half-baked, then you need to charge a half-baked price for it. And at that point, since I'm saving money up front on the product, then I'm okay with maybe paying for a few updates that are going to bring it up to par to at least where I would like it. And I don't want to wait 3 years for that stuff either, I want it to come sooner than that, and maybe with the funding regarding the updates, it will happen that way, because with the funding, you can have a bigger team, they can get things done a lot quicker. And then how do we price it as the product gets updated? Let's say you buy it at $400, right? And then 4 updates later, you paid, $50 per update, and now it's worth $600 because of the updates. Does that mean that they should now change the price of the product new in the box to $600? Or should they just keep selling it at $400 and let the customer that buys it decide on what updates they want and how much they want to spend on those updates? And either way, everybody kind of wins when it comes to that. But I'm telling you, I'm seeing a trend with this. I really am. And there's part of me that's concerned about it. And there's part of me that totally understands why it needs to happen. And as long as everybody keeps their heads screwed on straight and doesn't get stupid with it, I think it could be a good thing. Again, I think it could be a good thing, because I own a business and there's a lot of jobs that I do in the summer where I'm washing houses, buildings, whatever. And there's lots of updates people want me to do while I'm on their property, but I won't do them unless I'm incentivized to do them. If I'm washing somebody's house and they bring out all their lawn furniture and all this extra stuff and stick it on the driveway and just expect me to freaking wash this stuff for free, I always will point at each thing and go, this much for this much for that, and then they just grab it all and put it right back in the garage. I don't work for free, and I'm not going to do updates for my customers for free. And I like customers that expect to pay for the extra things that they want me to do while I'm on their property. And to be honest with you, when they do offer to pay me for it, A lot of times I just kind of go, yeah, just give me 20 bucks, I'll wash them all. And everything's fine. Just buy me lunch and I'm happy, you know? So I think that this could be a good thing because, again, when a company is incentivized to do a job, I feel like they're happier to do it. They're going to do it more quickly, more efficiently, and they're not going to treat the requests from customers like, you know, everyone's just nagging us to get this stuff done. They're going to treat it like, hey, we got people that want us to do something and they're willing to pay for it. Let's make it happen for them so that we can be just as excited about this new update launch as they are. And because they're excited about it and there's stuff in here that they requested and that they want, they will pay the nominal fee for this. We'll be compensated for our work and they get what they want and everybody wins. So that, in a perfect world, is the way I look at this as being a positive thing. But what are your thoughts on this and what would you like to see? And do you think that this is something that's a good thing or a bad thing? And just for a minute here, let me put on my tinfoil hat, okay? The only thing that would really suck about this whole thing is if companies take advantage of this and they release a unit purposely without a lot of things that they are just going to sell you later and make money off of it that way. So they're going to pretty much totally undercook this thing, bring it to your table, and then say, oh, it's not done enough for you? Oh, well, for 50 bucks, we can finish cooking it at your table and you get to watch, you know? And it's like, dude, that's not what I came in here for. So that's not what I want to see happen is companies doing that. Now, is there potential for that? Absolutely. There's absolutely potential for that. And I do not want to see companies take advantage of people in that regard because that would really suck to buy this. I mean, it's bad enough there's a lot of half-baked stuff out there, but to have like a quarter-baked product and they withheld this stuff on purpose just so they can charge us for it later while still charging us full price for the product when we buy it, I just think that's really shitty. And I hope that doesn't happen. So there's potential for that. I just hope that it doesn't become a thing. And, you know, if it does, I mean, YouTubers like myself will definitely be calling people out on it for sure. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it informative. To all my Patreon supporters and subscribers, thank you so much. And if you're new to the channel and you want to stay informed on stuff like this and enjoy some great gear demos, feel free to subscribe and click the bell so that you can be notified every time I either go live or come out with another episode. I got a lot more stuff coming up for you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.